Man, this movie called Thanksgiving was crazy. So you got this girl Jessica who's living with this her stepmother Kathleen because her mom passed away, and her father's name's Thomas. The sheriff by the name of Newland is coming over, saying celebrate Thanksgiving. Mitch and his wife Amanda invited him over. So now everybody's trying to celebrate Thanksgiving, but Mitch gets a call all of a sudden. He's got to go to this Fast Mart spot because he runs the store, and basically they want to have Black Friday early. They have it on Thursdays now, like Thursday nights or whatever. So you got this rabid mob that's just ready to get into the store. Like, they're just crazy, Like, everything's on sale, like fucking waffle irons and shit. It's like a small town in Plymouth, so, take it for what it is. After Jessica and all finished eating, she wants to go out with her friends to go to the movies. She rolls up with her boyfriend, Bobby. You got Scuba and his girlfriend, Yuli. And you got Evan and his girlfriend, Gabby. So that's the 6-people crew. So before they go to the movies, they're trying to make a detour to the Fast Mart, but then they're like, yo, it's gonna be a rabid mob. You sure you're trying to go there now? He's like, we gotta get a phone. So this rabid mob is waiting for the store to open up, whatever like that. You got these people in the front trying to cause a riot. These people from Hanover or whatever like that. Now, apparently, Evan and one of the dudes from Hanover had beef. And he ended up fucking them up in a fight one day. Now, this same dude with his girl is at the front of the head of the line, whatever like that. Meanwhile, they're still waiting for the store to open. So the thing about Thomas is he pretty much runs the whole town, including like everything that goes on at Fast Mart. And Jessica basically has the keys to Walmart, so basically she goes in there with her 6-people crew and they just run up in there. You're just like, what the fuck? They just gonna let them in there? That's not fair. And the worst part about it is Evan and his people are like taunting the people about it too. So it's like you got this angry mob of like tens of thousands of people ready to get in here just to get the Black Friday stuff. And only got like 2 security guards patrolling the area. I'm like, yeah, clearly this was not thought through. The people said, the heck with this. They bum rushed that shit. They bum rushed the daggone store. They started getting up everything. Niggas in there getting trampled on. Evan's recording the whole thing. He's just recording stuff. Amanda comes up there to make sure Mitch is okay. Now, throughout all the calamity, people getting trampled on. Bobby gets his hand stomped out. The thing is, Bobby was called the Golden Arm because of his baseball career. Now, clearly, that's going to have hindrance on that. I mean, his arm got stomped all the way out. It was all messed up. Amanda, throughout the chaos, ended up getting killed by somebody hitting her with a daggone shopping cart. Took a piece of her head with her. It was like, ew. Mitch is obviously distraught and pissed off. A whole bunch of craziness took place that day. Now we go to a year later. Somehow the video Evan did went viral because apparently the cameras in the store were conveniently off at the time. The only recorded footage was Evan recording with a daggone phone. Bobby's been MIA for an entire year, you know what I'm saying? I guess he was trying to rehab his arm or something like that. Bottom line is, nobody's seen him since the incident. Thomas tried to do some charitable things by, helping kids to get to schools and stuff like that, but yeah. He was giving them money and stuff like that as a noble cause, but bottom line is, there was so many casualties. Yeah. And the police didn't charge anybody with murder because the facts is, they couldn't get any camera footage other than Evan's video, but yeah, it's crazy. Now we go to this lady named Lizzie. Lizzie works at an actual cafe or whatever like that. The thing is, Lizzie was the one that was going crazy that accidentally hit Amanda in the head with a freaking shopping cart. Now people at this time really don't want to celebrate Thanksgiving or have the Thanksgiving parade or whatever like that, but bottom line is they're still trying to set some stuff up. And more so because Thomas is like, well, you know what I'm saying? We got to put some credibility towards something, you know what I'm saying, after what happened last year. Now, there's one point where Bobby and Jessica was about to get lost in the crowd over like that, and she ends up meeting up with this dude named Ryan. Now, Ryan's been trying to get at Jessica for a minute. But obviously, because she with Bobby, that shit ain't happening. But after Bobby ghosted her for like a year, all of a sudden, Ryan and Jessica are actually dating. So after everybody leaves out the cafe, it's nighttime, whatever. And we realized throughout the town, a lot of people sponsor mementos to like the John Carver mask and stuff like that. So a lot of people will have it. They've been selling in the stores, you know what I'm saying? So Lizzie's about to close up, whatever like that. All of a sudden, she gets attacked by this dude in the John Carver mask with a pilgrim outfit on. Throws her head in the water and then tried to stick it to the freezer door. But luckily, she was able to pull her face away or whatever like that and try to get away with her face all fucked up. But then she thinks she's about to escape or whatever like that. All of a sudden, the car pulls up. She ends up trying to climb into the dumpster or whatever like that. Car drags into the dumpster and it chops her body in half. I was like, yo. Next day, all you see is a bottom half of her body on top of the Fast Mart sign as police are trying to pull out this investigation. So where the other half of the body go? Next, we see one of these other security guards. The 2 security guards that they had, one of them got trampled to death. The other one ran, was like, fuck this. Apparently, that security guard was going to make a trip or whatever like that. He's trying to get out the country. Bottom line is, he trying to find his passport, and he got this cat. Pilgrim man comes out of nowhere, sticks it with his stomach with a turkey base that chops his head off. Done deal. Puts his head in a duffel bag, but still takes time to feed the cat. Now, all 6 of our kids get these text messages, right? Got this one text message where, like, this Thanksgiving layout is set up, right? But it's from an anonymous person. Then the pilgrim man ends up putting the security guard's head on the plate, and then you see across the room, half of Lizzie's body is sitting in another chair. So we're like, what is going on here? Then the crew get another message with all that stuff going down, and then Jessica looks closer and is like, wait a minute, yo. all of our names are at this table. So the police talk to her friends doing the investigation and stuff like that. Meanwhile, the police are talking to the other 5 friends, but they talk to Jessica alone. Newland talks to Jessica alone. Because he thinks there's certain information that she might have that she might not want to tell the rest of her friends or whatever like that, right? So after she leaves at the police station, she ends up seeing Bobby out of nowhere. It was like, damn, like, where the heck you been at? So they catch up and she tells Bobby some information, right? So she says Kathleen made sure they wiped out all the camera footage so it wouldn't be bad press against Thomas and all that, right? But here's the thing. Her dad keeps copies of footage or whatever like that on a spare or hard drive, whatever. But the thing is, she's got to be able to dig into it and see, find if it's even still there after it's been like, what, a year? Then all of a sudden Ryan pops up and Bobby realizes that she's with Ryan. So instantly, they got beef. And then Newland asks to talk to Bobby, you know what I'm saying, get some information and whatnot. So when she goes back home, she ends up going on the computer and finding out some little bit more information. And she sees that Ryan was hugging the other bodyguard or whatever like that, like they knew each other or whatever. But here's the thing. Ryan's from a whole different town. He shouldn't know anybody or whatever like that. So all of a sudden, they were just like, oh, he just knows this dude Doug? Like, but we found out he was just trying to get Adderall from him or whatever like that. But we're not sure if we could trust him like that because next thing we know, you know what I'm saying, we see him creeping around here and there, whatever like that. He's got this pilgrim outfit on next thing, but he's really supposed to be doing a play, but he's in a freaking warehouse here. Like, what the heck is going on here? But I think the warehouse is set up for the Thanksgiving parade. So, yeah. Then we get to the scene where one of the loud guys that have started the ride or whatever like that, he's like getting people all pumped up. He's like a fitness trainer or whatever. And then this girl comes over and is like, come on, what's up? So you know they about to get it in and do something. But then she starts teasing him and starts jumping on the trampoline or whatever like that, trying to get herself ready. All of a sudden, Pilgrim Man comes out of nowhere and breaks this dude's neck, that deal daddy shit. And then we see Nas coming out from under the trampoline. She's getting stabbed to death, just falling back up on it. Now she's done deal too. This is all happening in the school. Now here's my thing that's about to come up. All these police officers are surrounding the school at this point, right? The school is pretty much cleared out with the exception of Gabby, Evan, and Jessica. Because now Jessica's back in the school and they're all like sticking together or whatever. So Gabby and Evan, they'd be like, yeah, we will be right back. We're going to do some things. Yeah, you already know what it is. They walking through the school. All of a sudden, Pilgrim Man snatches them up. You're like, what the heck did they do to them? So Jessica starts texting Gabby. She's like, all right. So Jessica starts walking around or whatever like that. She goes by this bin. All of a sudden, she's a bloody phone with Gabby's phone in it. And then she clicks it off, whatever. But then she turns the phone off and sees Pilgrim Man right behind her so she could duck and get away from him. It was a crazy-ass scene. Somehow she managed to escape. I'm thinking to myself, Pilgrim Man was just casually in here just chilling the whole time. Meanwhile, you got police surrounding the whole daggone school. I'm like, really? Not even just the school. They were surrounding specifically this building. I'm like... So when she gets outside, she ends up meeting back up with Scuba and Yuli. And then all of a sudden, Yuli's dad comes over and was like, yeah, we getting out here. We're going to Florida. I'm like, what? So Scuba tells Jessica, like, man, fuck this. We got to get some guns, yo. We got to talk to Marvin. So Marvin gets Scuba a gun, you know what I'm saying? Jessica gets this ring or whatever like that. Now, Marvin gave her this ring because she didn't want to take a knife or whatever like that. He says, from my father from the war, you know what I'm saying? Should give you some good luck, right? And it will. So Yuli's about to make a phone call to Jessica and Scuba or whatever like that. All of a sudden, Yuli father get done deal. Pilgrim 1 is in the house. Scuba and Jessica hurry over to the house or whatever like that. Scuba's got the gun pointed at the Pilgrim, but the thing was, he didn't take the safety off. And then this he ends up throwing Yuli face or whatever like that into a buzzsaw, just cutting up her intestines. Done deal. Yuli's dead as shit. Somehow, he ends up getting away. So the thing is, Scuba's thinking that he can't trust the police, and for good reason. Why? Because they just can't find this guy. So he's got this room with all this Thanksgiving stuff, but the thing is, every time he posts something, he must be sending it from a different location because they go to that certain location and can't find nothing. So he never actually posts stuff from the actual location that he is. So therefore, he's got them running around playing tag. Got the police looking like straight idiots. So Jessica's like, oh, we got a way to catch him. Bottom line is, we got to go through with the Thanksgiving Day parade. That way we find a way to catch him out in the open. So everybody dressed up for the parade or whatever like that. They gonna look for people with John Carver masks on, but a lot of people got them on. So you're like, dang it, who's doing what? Even Mitch had a John Carver mask, but the thing is, he goes out there to try to interrupt the parade to be protesting about the Fast March stuff, because obviously he still misses Amanda and he still got beef with everything and all that shit. But bottom line is, Mitch ain't the culprit. All of a sudden, this guy in a clown suit just starts murking off on people. We're like, wait a minute, this dude switched up. Ends up shooting tranquilizers at Scuba, Jessica, Thomas, who happened to be there, and Kathleen. Next thing you know, Kathleen's laying on this table, whatever like that. Pilgrim guy's like basting her or whatever like that, throwing like little seasonings and stuff like that. Like he's about to straight cook her. And bottom line is, he's going to do that. When we went to go get some other stuff, he came back. She was gone off the table. I guess he still assumed that she was tranquilized or whatever. I ain't gonna lie, as goofy as she was acting at the beginning of the movie, she's pretty smart when it comes to hiding and stuff like that. But it's only gonna last for a certain amount of time. She almost got out the house, but then she got hit with a pitchfork, and then it was done deal after that. and then fried her in the oven. It was done deal. But then he opened the door right and then put a thermometer on her and then closed the door. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So now the police they think they got a lock on the location, so they go find her, whatever like that. Turns out they're in the wrong spot. And then we get to the table scene. We see everybody at the table. We see Jessica there, Scuba, Evan, who's still alive, Gabby, who's still alive. Thomas is sitting there. Lizzie's who's dead, obviously. The security guard's dead, obviously. That the girl that was with the dude or whatever like that, she's dead, obviously. The ones that caused the riot and shit. Then he gives this big explanation of why he killed certain people or why he kept them alive. He was like, they're the ones that caused pain and suffering. Y'all were the VIPs. That's why I want to keep you alive for this. I mean, his explanation is pretty awesome. I ain't going front, but yeah. But then he puts Evan on the ground and he straight bashes his brains in. I'm like, Evan's done deal. Now, while all this is going on, Jessica's finding some way to get her hands loose. Now, how is she doing this? Well, apparently that ring is pretty sharp, so she's been using that to cut or whatever like that. Then she gives the ring to Scuba, so he cut himself free, and then they end up breaking out dipping. Scuba ends up getting his arm sliced a little bit or whatever like that. But the thing is, Pilgrim's still trying to focus on Jessica because she done got away. So she's looking around. She finds out the location is actually at the John Carver house. So she runs over, and then she gets over to this police car or whatever like that. Turns out it's Newland laying there. I'm like, damn, is he dead as shit? What the hell happened to Newland? But then she sees somebody going into the warehouse. She ends up taking Newland's gun and was like, yo, I'm about to bang off on this nigga. Let's get it. When she goes to the warehouse and finds out who it is, turns out it's Bobby in there. So we like, oh, snap, is Bobby the one that was doing all this? Then Newland comes out of nowhere and was like, hey, give me the gun. I got this. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. All of a sudden, she heard shots going off when she left out. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention when they was at the table, he brought out Kathleen like she was a daggone turkey dinner. I was like, wow. So I think they got police going to the John Carver house or whatever like that to free everybody and whatnot. And then Newland explains to Jessica that he was creeping around somewhere or whatever like that. And that's when Bobby hit him with a freaking tire iron. And that's why he was laid out. So at this point, he had to turn his gun in because he fired off shots or whatever. So he gave the gun to the other cop or whatever. So now he doesn't have any weapons in his hand. Now, when he left out, Jessica seen this evidence on the table, including this John Carver mask. And there was something else particular that was there in there. I think it was some gloves or something. So when he came back, he was like, all right, you ready to go? He's like, all right, sure. But then she noticed something. She noticed his fucking boots. The same scuff marks on the boots were the same scuff marks that Pilgrim was wearing. So then she puts two and two together, and we find out Newland is the Pilgrim dude all along. So now you're thinking to yourself, why would Newland do this? Well, apparently, Newland was going to start his new life with Amanda, but seeing how she got killed or whatever like that, and on top of that, Amanda was about to break up with Mitch, and on top of that, Newland and Amanda were about to have a baby together. She blamed the kids that started the riot. He blamed Thomas and Kathleen for even opening the store in the first place during Thanksgiving. And he blamed the kids for getting in the store in the first place to even start this riot to begin with. So that's why he killed certain people. He killed Lindsay because Lindsay was the one that killed Amanda. I'm not even sure why he killed the other security guard. He just ran off, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, all right. But while he was talking, Jessica recorded it all on video, so it's like split worldwide now. So now everybody knows he did it. So he's about to finish off Jessica, then all of a sudden a rock comes through the window. It's Bobby. He threw a rock at this dude so they get up out of there. So now they're trying to escape, but they're basically back in his warehouse. They end up getting in Bobby's truck and they try to get up out of there, right? But before they do, Jessica turns on this blimp or whatever like that, one of those the turkey blimps. And I think she talked about this story about not wanting to use guns or whatever like that because she tried to put gunpowder in the thing and almost messed her daggone hand up. But on the back of this particular truck, she ends up finding one of those guns. And she got to go throw gunpowder in it. You know what I'm saying? She ain't got no pellets or whatever like that. But she ends up using her mom's necklace. And while the dude's walking towards him, she ends up shooting the balloon with the helium in it. And the stuff bursts into flames. And then he gets burnt up, done deal, did his shit. The thing I kept trying to figure out, was it two Pilgrims that was doing this stuff? Because I'm thinking about myself, how could he be at this one spot and then this other spot at the same time? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you see the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we find out Jessica's good, Bobby's good, Scuba and Gabby are all right. Ryan comes through, you know what I'm saying, make sure everything's good. Bobby's going to be heading out of town again. And basically, Ryan's living with Jessica. Last scene we see is her going through the closet or whatever like that. She's looking around or whatever. Then all of a sudden, some fire comes out and she just gets dragged down. We're like, oh, shit. But then she's just having a dream, and that's the end of the movie. And I was like, yo. All in all, pretty damn good movie. Thanksgiving on Netflix. Check it out.